Hello and a very warm welcome. It's Darcy from thefabskinco.com coming to you from my kitchen, not my treatment room. Yes, those lights are going to keep changing because they are just like the treatment room lights, and you'll see me swinging because I've got the most comfortable dining room chairs, and they actually swing. And try sitting on them without swinging. So I'm just having a break because today I've been creating more fabulous content to bring to you over the coming months. But I wanted to talk to you about blue light and screen time because I'm sure several of you are doing the things that I'm going to talk about. So as always, I'm just going to have a sip of water and we will begin. So I don't know if anyone is guilty of just literally sofa internet shopping or just endlessly scrolling down their phone and your jawline is actually going down because you're looking down, whether it's on your phone or whether it's actually on an iPad or device, or whether you're actually sitting with your laptop or you're sitting at a desk and you're kind of like, you're not looking up, you're actually looking down. And you can kind of feel this part of your jawline coming. That's, it's really not an attractive look, is it, whatsoever? And does anyone actually unplug from either their phone or their actual device? I'm talking about, do you have a complete day a week where you just totally unplug, or do you not answer your phone after a particular evening, or you're not online? According to Ofcom, 1 in 5 adults will spend as much as 40 hours a week online. That's the equivalent to over a day a week you'll just spend online looking at a device, whether that is a mobile or whether that's actually a screen time. And that's quite scary, isn't it, really? Because I'm sure in time we're going to have little microchips put into us, a bit like the Cybermen off of Doctor Who, where we're just plugged in literally and we just constantly get constant downloads. And from a parent point of view, that's kind of worrying because one of my children is quite addicted to their phone and the other one's not bothered. And I just think, everything really needs to be in moderation. Now, you would have heard me talk about the UVAs and the UVB burning rays. She says, I'm just looking out at a very, very grey sky coming over. And so you know about the aging rays, the UVA rays, and the UVB rays, the burning rays. Now, what about the blue light, the light that we actually get on our screens when our screens are actually turned on? Now, the research into blue light is in its infancy at the moment, and I would say, as I've said before, everything in moderation, because the blue light lamps, as in the seasonal affective disorder, the SAD, are really good because they will boost, they will help, she says, trying to remember, they will help memory, cognitive function, it elevates your moods, and it helps alertness. So obviously when in the UK we don't get a huge amount of vitamin D from our natural sunlight. So when we go into autumn and winter, a lot of people are finding they are vitamin D deficient, and that's when the blue light lamps, they're often known as SAD lamps, they really help elevate people. So is there such a thing as too much blue light? Well, I'd like to sort of say, I think you need to really consider some facts here, because the blue light is actually responsible for governing our rhythms. And so as in, during the day, we realise that we're meant to be awake, and at night time, we're meant to be asleep. Now, too much of the screen time before bed actually interferes in the process of, it suppresses the sleep hormone, melatonin. So that's why if you're on your phone, right up to bed, you kind of hop into bed and you're either on your laptop or you're on your phone, you can't leave social media alone, or you've just got to binge watch yet another series of something on Netflix or on Prime or on whatever it is that you're actually watching. And it tricks your body into thinking it should actually be awake because this blue light is actually coming out. And as I said, the research into it is actually in its infancy because, these are quite new things, but I do think a lot of broken sleep patterns and people getting quite stressed is because of all of the I was going to say the sort of like the microwave waves that you can't actually see coming out of these devices. And so that's why a lot of people that want to have a good quality sleep, the best thing for them to do would be to actually go at least an hour before they hit the pillow to have no devices on whatsoever. I'm kind of thinking as a household to actually switch the Wi-Fi off completely by a particular time, but I do think there might be a little bit of discord in the ranks in our house if I do that one. So I'm leading by example by just like leaving everything down in the kitchen or in an area that it doesn't interfere with my sleep patterns. We do require 7 to 8 hours at night of decent quality sleep to allow our skin to actually renew and regenerate. It's not called beauty sleep for nothing. But as I've said, everything in moderation. But obviously, if you're if you've got your head down, doing it this way, looking really unattractive with a nice double chin, it can affect obviously this area on here, on your neck. And also it can cause droopy eye syndrome as well. Well, there's not a droopy eye syndrome, but it will just literally everything will kind of go like or like you might find that you're getting eye strain because our eyes are very good at filtering out the different UV rays that we have, but it's not very good at doing the blue light. So it does actually, you will get eye strain a lot, which is probably why I decided to make this little clip, because I've been on my laptop for some time and I was thinking, oh, my eyes are really, I need to just go off and have a little bit of natural light coming through my eyes. The Dermalogica, this is one of my favourite products of all time. A skin hydrating mask is superb. It's clear, so you can put it on throughout the day. Just a tiny bit, making like see-through little pan dries, and it will just literally sink into your skin and your eyes will come back. It is one of the most amazing products that I've come across, and I've been in the business 22 years this year, and I still love it. I found out about this when I was training, and it's been in my, obviously not the same bottle, has been, or not the same tube, has been in my bathroom cupboard, but I've gone through countless tubes of this. So I was going to say, I want to actually give you a couple of exercises that you can do. One for sort of like, I can't do it very well. Really, when you're doing this with your eyebrows, so you can just see, there you go, we got some frowns. There we go. When you can see you're visibly frowning, either you're frowning in between here, which I don't really have, and then I've got a few forehead. I'm going to go really close. Can you see that? Look, there you go. Okay, when you're frowning like this, there's no Botox or fillers in my skin whatsoever. Just brilliant products that I've been using for a long time that I do recommend to all of my clients. So when you find yourself kind of like scowling like this, either like you're looking down, so you've got the double chin going, yeah, I'm looking really attractive here, right? And you're kind of scowling and going like, really, when you see something online and you find yourself frowning, just tap it. Just literally tap out. I love tapping, whether you're doing an emotional freedom releasing, tapping, or you're doing this on your forehead, just tap it out. And particularly tap out this. Obviously that's your third eye as well. We won't go into that on this clip, but just tap it out. And what that does is it just immediately starts to relax that skin. So you find yourself frowning and you can do that. You can actually ask a loved one to actually pick you up on like, am I frowning? You may hate that to start with, because the loved one might think it's like, oh, you're frowning, and you're frowning because you're not impressed. And then they're pointing out that you're frowning. You might find that you're a little bit more aggressive than you actually want to be. So it's entirely up to you whether you get a loved one on board or whether you just think, I'm probably frowning, I'll just tap away. I think that's a really good one to do when you're stuck in traffic as well. Is just tap it away, particularly this one. Okay, so going back to the double chin, we're looking down on our screens, aren't we? I think you can go anywhere out and just people watch, and you'll see people walking along, looking down at their phone, or certainly online, aren't there? There's some brilliant clips of people just literally falling down various things or falling into swimming pools or little fountains because they're not looking at what they're actually doing. So a good one is, if you're actually going to be on your mobile is you actually look up and look at it. Or also reading a book, because obviously you can do the same thing, can't you? Reading a book is actually hold it up so it's visible. This is an old one, but I thought this is quite handy for this little exercise. Is actually look up. I much prefer when I'm talking to be on a headset, because then you're not doing this or you're not doing this, because obviously that can affect this falling down as well. And then obviously you can kind of like, one eyebrow can be higher than the other as well. So I do find it quite interesting just watching how people actually interact with their devices as well, because obviously it's bringing you down quite a lot. So obviously hold it up as much as you can, so like everything is high. For those of you that do follow me, probably quite a few of you have seen me done what I call the neck swan, where you go up and you just air kiss. I'm going to go sideways for you so you'll be able to see me in all my glory. So literally go up and air kiss. You need to do those 10 times and all of this will extend. And all of this. Another favourite of mine is, let's see if I can just get my hair completely out of the way. Is, I was going to say, how's this going to work? Just let me do this. There we go. That won't be too effective now. Is literally, you're just going to, with your thumbs, you're just going to literally drain away right in line with where your mouth is. You're just going to press up and then gently press all the way up to the side. Can you see? Now, wouldn't that be amazing if your jawline stays like that, eh? But it will do. We're just going to do that again. Just hold, just where it is. And all you're doing is you're just draining and releasing those tense muscles. Now, this can be related to social media, scrolling, or just being online and getting a little bit annoyed. But we hold a lot of tension in our jawline, our temporal mandibular jaw, or the TMJ, which is what it's actually recognised as. So by actually doing this and just releasing, it's all right, someone's just at my door, that's fine.